Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advanced. This game was played in Clutch Chess Legends with the white pieces. We have an absolute legend here, 5 times world champion, Vischer, and playing against Gary Kasparov. And in the first game of the Rapid of day 2, unfortunately, Vishis's clock ran out, but now he has to bounce back with the white pieces. Let's see what he chooses. Here, just d4 by Vishisar. Now just comes d5, knight to f3. We have c6, e3, and just knight to d7, a4. And now just e5, c4, and e4 in this position. So definitely he has tried to go for a very different line with his king being very much exposed. So he wants to win this game. He just going for knight to d2, f5. We have c captures, and just g4 in this position. G4 is the best move recommended by the engine. So definitely this is a prep. Here, just g6, and now the move that you want to play is f3, and after bishop to c7 you play g captures. It seems weird, believe me, trading everything off, just releasing the tension in the center, but the thing is that it's for a reason. Here, after f captures, knight caps on e4. Yes, you sacrifice the piece. After d captures, now you play this bishop caps on e4, and the thing is that with these very annoyed little pieces here that are doing absolutely nothing, your bishop is much more powerful. Yes, you get rook to b8, but after rook to a3 your position is absolutely amazing, and most likely Vishisar would definitely be able to do something with this. But you cannot prep all the way, and most likely people would definitely deviate from that. So here, after g6 we have rook to a3 immediately, not trying to go for that, just bishop to d6 now, and now just comes rook to c3 check, king to b8, f3, and just a5. And in this position you could choose to go for this knight to b3 move, but after this bishop to b4, here rook to c2, bishop captures, rook captures, and knight to e7. The thing is that black is much ahead on development. All you have to do is just get the king to safety. After queen to g1 you can play king to a7 and your position would be fine. But after a5 we have bishop to g3 now, and now just comes queen to f6, just developing the queen, queen to g2, knight to e7, and just f captures, and here just going for bishop captures, just sacrificing the piece here. And in this position, if you think that you can capture it, well, you should think again, because if you go for d captures after this, then just comes knight captures on e4, and now the queen and the bishop is hanging, and the trouble is not just over, because here queen to e6, then just comes knight captures, and I'm threatening a lot of things. Even if you go here, it's just not at all better. I have the true central pawns to show for it as well. There is no material imbalance. This position is completely going to be waiting for white. So after this bishop captures on e4, just grabbing a pawn, knight to b6 was played, and I mean, that was really a nice trap. And here bishop to c2, here just bishop caps on a4, and e4 was played, finally just pushing that central thrust, queen to e6, and just rook to e1. And here bishop caps on c2 was played, rook captures, king to a7, and in this position you could choose to go for this e caps on d5, opening up an attack towards the queen. Now you have to move the queen back. You cannot capture that pawn, obviously that's protected. So after bishop caps on d6, queen captures, knight to e3, knight captures, and after knight caps on d5 you would have some chances, but not a lot. And you can see that the rook is coming in. Either you're going to have to trade, or you cannot connect the rook, so that's going to be a problem as well. So definitely a lot of things that you're gonna have to deal with. But after king to a7 we have knight to e3 now, not going for any of the craziness. Rook a to c8, and now do you trade? Do you allow the rook in? Do you allow the trade to happen? There are a lot of questions that you have to answer, and you're gonna have to do it fast, because both pairs are now down to 1 minute. It just e caps on d5 was played. We have rook caps on c2 first, knight captures, queen caps on d5, and here just trading the queens as well. And here rook to e6, a very nice move by Vishisar, and here just bishop caps on g3, now finally grabbing the piece, h captures, rook to d7, and seems like the end game could be really difficult for Vishisar to try and do anything. You have an imbalance in the position because of these double pawns, and on the king side, on the queen side, you can see that there are 2 pawns against the one pawn. It's going to be very difficult. It's just knight to e4 now, rook to e7, and here just rook captures, knight knight to g5, trying to do something, but it's going to be very difficult to go for anything other than a draw in this position. So here h5 was played. We have g captures, knight to e3, and just knight to d5, and just going for a trade now, knight captures, and in this position here, if you try to go for king to d2, your position is absolutely fine. Knight to e7, now just going for knight to e4, knight to f5, and d5. Maybe you try to push that, but after king to b8, king to e2, king to c7, most likely this position should be a draw with perfect play. Yes, you can push that, but it's just very unlikely that you can get anything out of it. But here after knight caps on d5, knight to e6 was played, and just b5 now. We have b3, king to b6, and just knight to g7, attacking that pawn. You have to defend with knight to f6, and now just king to c2, getting the king into the game, king to c6, and just king to d3 was played. And here in this position there is nothing you can do. Most likely this game is going to be ending in a draw. Here king to d5 was played, now just comes knight to f5, king to e6, knight to g7 check, king to d5, and now just going for knight to f5, king to e6, knight to g7, and both pairs here agreed to go for a draw. So the first rapid game actually went to Gary, and with that, I mean, he is ahead, I think 4.5 to 1.5 after the first round win. I mean, you get 2 points for the rapid, and now With this draw, now it's 2-5, so he's at a lead of 3 points. Now it's going to be very difficult to try and do anything. I mean, either you just win the entirety of the blitz, or you try to do something in the rapid. That will happen tomorrow, so let's see what happens. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll be coming back with such amazing games, so stay tuned to the channel, stay updated, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon. Thank you very, very much for watching.